Hey, and thanks for joining us for this week's Chamber Beat. It's a very special week. Our guest this week doesn't need any introduction. Speaker Cameron Sexton. Speaker, thanks for joining us.
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, we just finished a really good event here at the Chamber with the Speaker and Lieutenant Governor, and just really have a really neat opportunity to get to visit with Speaker Sexton. First, it's been your first election season as Speaker. What's that been like?
It's been a lot. You know, we've had 2 mini sessions, basically, a special session. Now we're hitting the campaign trail. And so we hit the ground last year running all across the state. This year we started the process back, so we're traveling a lot. We were in 3 cities yesterday helping members get reelected. So we're very hopeful that we're going to keep the supermajority and keep Tennessee moving forward.
Yeah, you've been on the road a lot, as you mentioned. It seems like if you follow Twitter at all, you're in West Tennessee one day, and that afternoon you may be in East Tennessee. What are some of the consistent things you hear from businesses that are maybe as they come out of the pandemic, or ongoing things that are really giving businesses problems?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think it depends on what size area you're in. So if you're in the bigger cities, the number one has been the health boards and their uncontrolled power that they have over businesses and what they can do to limit a business growth and who can come into it. That seems to be the driving part around the bigger cities. In the rural areas, it's just more allowing us to continue to do what we do and stay open and help us with business regulations and thriving. Overall, the number one issue affecting businesses, and I think we've done this with Governor Lee and Commissioner Ely and Lieutenant Governor, making sure we keep that unemployment trust fund above a certain amount so that the businesses' taxes don't go up on the unemployment trust fund, which would put an even bigger burden. So as businesses are trying to come back out of the pandemic and open back up and get back to 100%, you don't want to have that unemployment tax kick in on them. So we're trying everything we can to help them get back on their feet.
Well, everyone we hear from seems to think that Tennessee's managed as well as anyone in the country through the pandemic. What does the next phase of that management of this pandemic look like? Certainly, I'm sure you've talked to colleagues in other states, or you've thought internally about some options there.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll have to wait and see. You know, I think one of the best things that we did is pass the Wayfarer tax. Now, when we passed online sales tax, it was to create a level playing field for Tennessee businesses against businesses out of the state. But it has really helped us because during the pandemic, when people didn't go shop in businesses, they were still buying online. So we were still able not to lose that sales tax dollars that we would have. So I think that's one very good beneficial thing that we have done as we continue to grow. You know, I mean, I think as we continue to move forward and keep Tennessee the second best state or the most friendly state for businesses, is to keep the approach that it's okay for businesses to thrive, to be successful, and to make money. And a lot of states, they're wanting to pass a wealth tax or a tax if you make X number of dollars. All that does is punish the person who wants to work to get ahead. And that's not our philosophy in Tennessee. We want to help people to get that point, to get ahead, to get the opportunity to succeed. But as you're succeeding, we don't want to stymie you and force you to go backwards. And so I think that's why Tennessee is doing so well. And that's why you see so many people moving into the state and why you see so many businesses now wanting to come into Tennessee. And we were in a community not too long ago. Last July, only 1 to 3 contacts a month into that community about businesses wanting to move in. Now it's 2 to 4 a week. And so even during the pandemic, as people are moving out of these high tax states and Democrat controlled states, they're looking for stability, they're looking for an opportunity, and Tennessee's at the right point to harvest all that energy in America.
Seems that not a week goes by without some new announcement or jobs expansion announcement. So very thankful for your leadership, Speaker, and looking forward to the next session. And again, thank you very much for joining us here. Join us next week for the Chamber Beat.